without them. Do that shit without them. Do that shit without them. Do that shit without them. I do that shit without them. Can I beat up, fuck it up, that's too Libre. I don't give a fuck what she me or she say. My flex be on one, I guess D-Day. I'm like, it's slow, like a freeway. The ones that gotta make, I'm messing the freeway. I'm going on the freeway. Now they wanna be me, or they wanna be me. Either way it go, I still chop it up like cheesesteak. 3K, head to the weekdays. I can do that lobster, fuck with the no doubt, speed on the street, they get down. The last that she do is speak when I frown. Like, trying to make me happy that nobody hit me down. Only for the ones that hit my phone when I was down. My hometown, got a unique sound. If you didn't know, I'm just taking out loud. Taking out loud. Baby, I can use around. It's going down, it's going down. If you didn't know, I'm just taking out loud. Taking out loud. If you didn't know, just taking out loud. Taking out loud. Taking out loud. If you didn't know, just taking out loud. Taking out loud. If you didn't know, just taking out loud. Break it down. Break it down. Let you know, take it out loud. Still running up these bands without them. Tied down in my hunter filled with houses. Running up these bands without them. I got my friends tied down in my hometown filled with houses. They try to stop me, can't step alone. Gotta do it with a team. That's what happened when you know when they struggle to believe. Another cheese, bitch, I feel like big grease. No stress on my shoulder, I'm up, get it popping like grease. I'm looking in the mirror. Let's be clear. I'm the only one that beats me right here. I'm just keep it real. I'm the only voice I hear. I'm not the way. If you really don't put me track every day, if you really don't put me track every day, get away before they get back, get cracked with a K. Never touch a man unless I get too bang. Gotta pull up muscle. Okay, welcome to, hold on, let's fix this. Welcome to the communication station, back with your boy Schwetzy. Welcome everybody. Communication station, analyzation station. It should be called in this nice little Virgo season that we going through right now. So yeah, shout out to everybody I've been working with here recently. It's been a really good start to this season and everything like that, and we just keeping the ball rolling. So shout out to everybody who've been tapped in with me and shit like that, and works and shit that we got going on behind the scenes. So, you know, big shout out to y'all. So today what I want to talk about, and this shit kind of pertain to the Virgo season energy a little bit. So I figured I'd go ahead and break this shit down a little bit, just so that way people can be aware of fucking where they being lazy at and shit like that with certain things. You know what I mean? Like, certain things don't really need to be done to completion at a specific time. You know what I'm saying? Like, some shit can kind of be put on the back burner, wait a little bit until you actually go and finish it, and like necessarily not have to completely start over on the shit and things of that nature. What's good, Esta Loca? So yeah, a lot of times we be in situations where we be thinking that that we can just do something till it's good enough type shit. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing, how this pertain to the Virgo energy, because Virgos be super analytical, and a lot of times a lot of times people be looking at Virgos and just earth signs in general as if we're like perfectionists or some shit like that, or like a earth sign is a super perfectionist type of person, and they're gonna fucking burn themselves out working on and being fixated on just doing one thing because they're trying to do it to perfection. And that's not necessarily the case a lot of times with a lot of Virgos, or Virgos and earth signs in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, they be placing the importance on the body of work itself, not necessarily on the shit having to be done to perfection. So this is the aspect that I'm talking about today. And this is the thing too. Like I was just saying, it's not always necessarily a situation where something needs to be done to completion. Completion and perfection kind of go hand in hand, because what's perfect, like, there's no such thing as perfect. Nobody's ever going to get anything to where it's perfect. And a lot of times you be witnessing people who be trying to act out on some type of perfection type of energy, whether it be through their art, their music, whatever it is that they're into. If a person is like striving for perfection in some type of way, a lot of times you witness these things actually being something that seems like it's overworked. You get what I'm saying? And something that is just done to completion without you trying to like be so fixated on making the shit perfect. A lot of times when it's just free like that and it's just done to completion and it's just satisfactory at the moment, you get what I'm saying? A lot of times bodies of work that are like that be more prevalent and they hit way harder. You get what I'm saying? That's why you'll have artists come out and shit like that and be like, oh, this was the song or the album that I didn't even really try that hard on. Like, I didn't even give a fuck about it that much. Like, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't so focused on trying to make it perfect in this instance. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of times that be the shit that hit way harder. You get what I'm saying? But the title of this video is actually a statement that somebody had made to me at a certain point in my life. You get what I'm saying? And they say perfection is the enemy of good enough. You get what I'm saying? And yeah, just like Esther Loca just said, no effort. That's what it tied back to. So basically, I was the one in the instance who was being viewed as trying to do shit to perfection. And no, it's not necessarily like that. It's just about getting it done to completion. Because there's certain projects that you work on and certain things that you involve yourself with energy wise that if you don't just go ahead and attack it right there at that moment and go ahead and finish it to completion or to whatever is satisfactory to you, then whenever you go back to it at a later point, if you don't finish it immediately, whenever you go back to it, you have to basically start over. You get what I'm saying? Like, you basically have to bare bones start over completely. And this is just with certain situations, not shit on the internet or on a phone or some shit where you can like save a little clip or some shit and come back and edit it later or something, or all your progress gets saved like a video game or some shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about like real world shit at the moment, or like shit that you do while you working a job, certain tasks that you have to complete and shit like that. And say, for example, you have somebody helping you and you're trying to get it done to completion. That way, whenever you go take your lunch break or whatever, when you come back to the situation, you're not in the same boat that you was initially whenever you first started doing this. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to go back to being bare bones with the shit again and having to basically start all over and reinitiate, redo this process. You get what I'm saying? And that's happened a few times with certain things in the workplace that I've dealt with and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Like for example, where I used to work was a factory, and what we did was plastic extrusion. So these machines would fucking pump out this basically like molten plastic. Like, the shit is like 800 degrees and shit like that. So it's pushing that melted plastic out, and you have to string it up through a big ass machine. So basically what you do is you tie it to a fucking string that's ran all the way down through the machine back to the puller. You get what I'm saying? And the puller is just a little like two fucking slits that roll and it pulls shit in that direction. You get what I'm saying? So you would be dealing with the molten plastic back here, and you have somebody on the other end who's supposed to be watching the puller, and they like let the rope slip out of the puller or some shit. Or you go ahead and fucking get it strung up completely, and you're working on like filling it out, which is basically you slow down the puller and shit like that, and more plastic gets pushed through, and all that shit. More plat Like the puller slows down, so it makes the piece that you're working with thicker and shit like that, and makes it appear more like whatever board that you're trying to make at the moment. You get what I'm saying? So you will have people that'll fucking just be lazy with it and shit like that, and just get it up well enough or something like that. Or a situation where a person will be so lazy that they'll come back to my machine, like you're not even supposed to be running my lines, but you'll come back to my machine and come and make big ass adjustments, and then just walk outside and leave it. You get what I'm saying? And then I've got to be the one to go and break the machine down, start the shit all the way over, and shit like that. What's good, MD Music? But yeah, fucking have to start the process all over just because an individual being lazy minded and shit like that, and not wanting to do something to completion. And instead they just rather do it to the point where it's good enough, like it appear like it's good enough for a moment. Okay, I can leave and I can go outside and I can go and smoke a cigarette. I can go and do something else. You get what I'm saying? So that's what we need to pay attention to. A lot of people are lazy in this world, and lazy minded as well, to the point where they're just gonna do something till it's good enough at the moment. You get what I'm saying? And then they're gonna leave the brunt of the workload and shit like that onto you. If you're a person who just has like a good work ethic, or you're a person like me who just wants to do shit to where it's completed. That way I don't have to go outside and smoke my cigarette and take my break for 15 minutes or whatever, and then I have to come back in and start the process completely all the way over, just because of a lazy minded individual or a lazy ass person in general who be fucking with things that they necessarily don't have business fucking with. Or they're actually trying to be helpful at the moment, but they're not helping you to the fullest extent of actually completing the job. That way when you have to come back and fucking like rework over them and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, and this goes into a lot of things. Like if a person, like the shit I was just talking about with that factory job I used to work, or a situation where you dealing with like carpentry and shit like that, and you got coworkers, and somebody is just being lazy for the day and just doing it till it's good enough, and you have to go back and, like, for example, if you mudding walls today or some shit, somebody do it real sloppy and just make it look good enough. You get what I'm saying? And you're a person who's like, man, I'm not accepting that shit. I don't give a fuck if it's just good enough. Like I'm here to do good work. That way my name is like known in this realm and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So you got to go back and fucking sand down whatever they fucked up. You got to go back and scrape off whatever they fucked up, and you got to go and rework and go back over them. And this is the part of how this title is actually prevalent, because yeah, perfection, which in my aspect is not even necessarily perfection, because you never gonna reach perfection anyway. That's a fallacy. That's an imagination. That's some made up shit. Ain't nothing ever perfect. You just gonna overwork shit, and it's gonna come off as like desperate and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So perfection, just to the aspect of actually being done to completion, right? That's why the title is prevalent, because it actually is. Perfection is the enemy of good enough, because perfection, working to completion, if you're dealing with an energy or an individual who is just trying to do something in the aspect of good enough, that kind of competes and rivals with whatever concept or whatever actual physical work that you're into at the moment. You get what I'm saying? Because the person who's on the side of doing it to completion or sufficiency or satisfactory type of energies, this person is going to have to overwork themselves to come back and fix whatever you fucked up in a situation. You get what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. People who are very analytical, or earth signs in general, it's not because we're trying to strive for perfection. Well, I can't speak for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all might be trying to reach some form of perfection that don't even exist. But I'm not. I have the understanding that I can work for 170,000 years on one thing, but it will never be perfect. I'm always going to listen back to it and be like, oh yeah, there's a little there's a little ping or hum, or I'm going to review it and be like, oh yeah, there's this or that. You know what I'm saying? Like that could still be tweaked in a little bit. And a lot of times you'll even see when you go back and try to tweak on some shit when it's already to completion and you're trying to get that perfection. When you go back and tweak some shit like that, you'll notice that you might even fuck it up worse than like make it worse than what it was previously by you trying to overwork it and shit like that. You might start making more mistakes and shit like that based upon it on this. So we just need to be aware of this shit. It's not, perfection is a fallacy. Perfection is a fallacy. That shit is just strictly made up. That's just somebody's imagination about what something would look like if it was perfect. You know what I mean? And you probably ain't never gonna reach that shit down here. And even if you think it's perfect, it's still gonna be people out there who are like, oh man, this is trash, or you know what I'm saying, I could do this better, or you know, whatever. So just keep that in mind, and keep in mind that you need to do shit to completion. That way that you don't have to do double work. You know what I'm saying? If you're a person who is doing shit solo and you're not working with someone else, and we're talking about all things right now, working a job, fucking dealing with people in the environment, whatever you're working on, business, art, charismatic gifts and talents, whether you express in some formulation of teaching or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Do it until it's done. Not do it until it's good enough type shit. You know what I'm saying? Do it till it's done. Don't do it till it's just good enough. That's a waste of your time, because you're gonna have to go back and fix whatever you fucked up or whatever you didn't do to completion in 9 times out of 10, unless you're just a person who has very low standards and is willing to upload anything or be seen in any type of way, or you're a person who is just using this advantageously. You can actually utilize this shit advantageously when you're in a workforce and dealing with individuals in an environment like a workspace type of environment. You get what I'm saying? Wait, you could be an individual who uses this advantageously. So if we peep game and we talking about work and the workforce, like a lot of this shit is predicated towards the workforce in general on this topic specifically because of the Virgo space, the 6th house space. That's your work and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of this shit is predicated towards actual ways that you can express this through a workforce or a job or an occupation of some sort. You get what I'm saying? So let's peep game. All the people who has worked a 9 to 5 or worked a occupation or a job or worked at a restaurant or anything like this, been a waitress, anything like this, y'all just peep game of how shit actually play out in real life. Okay, when there is a person who actually does their job to completion, has a good work ethic, you know what I'm saying? This is why we need to start expressing these energies in the right aspects. That way they're not being utilized to build somebody else's corporation up or utilized to build someone else's dream, because that is like the saddest fucking thing in reality to me in general as a person. Seeing people who are 60 years old and shit like that, and you witness how they spent their whole entire life building somebody else's dream, and they reaped little to no benefits from it, and literally are sitting on a fucking house built out of hay and sticks and shit like that, and just got crumbs for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's a thing that we need to pay attention to. The people who actually do things to completion and actually have a strong work ethic and actually would be valuable for someone to have as a employee and shit like that, they don't ever get that positive feedback. They don't ever get that you actually showing me that I'm a worthy employee. They don't ever get that getting a raise and being the highest paid person, or getting a change in name and title and being a manager or some shit like that. It's always the fucking lazy, sneaky, cheating and conniving type of people who get into these realms and actually actually can get a name and title and actually can be respected in the workplace and shit like that. That's what y'all need to pay attention to, man, because this shit is bullshit. So like I said, you'll have a old man who is like 60 years old and he was a carpenter for his whole life. You get what I'm saying? And you're driving around the town and he like showing you all these nice ass houses and shit like that, big ass mansions back in the suburbs and fucking just nice ass cribs. You know what I'm saying? Big brick homes and fucking real nice with all type of chimneys and fucking all type of fucking double pillar systems at the fucking door and shit. You know what I'm saying? Showing you all these nice ass homes. And even go to the point where they go and show you their boss's house or some shit, or y'all pull up to their boss's house to pick up a paycheck or something after you've already seen him show you all these fucking nice ass cribs that he literally built with his own two hands working for this motherfucker, right? So then you pull up at the boss's house and the boss have a fucking dope ass house too. You like, what the fuck? Why everybody got a dope ass house? And then you go back to the old man's house and it ain't shit. You get what I'm saying? And they ain't got much to show for it. They've been working this same job 30, 45 years. The boss is living good. The boss's house look real fucking nice. The boss's shit got all these fucking shiny things and fucking 650 credit score and all this and that. You get what I'm saying? But then you go back to the old man's house and they like living in a camper or some shit, or fucking just all measly and broke looking type shit. You know what I'm saying? Or whole bunch of old hand-me-down shits and things like that. You get what I'm saying? So this is what we need to pay attention to. These motherfuckers get utilized. You get utilized to build other people's dreams, and that's what happened. Your boss have their dream house, but why don't you? You get what I'm saying? Your boss wasn't doing nothing different than what you was doing. A matter of fact, your boss was probably doing less than what you was doing. Your boss might have had to go through the struggles initially to become a carpenter, become a licensed carpenter, and then go through the process of actually becoming a contractor and shit like that, and becoming creating a well-known name in the community to where people know, like, oh yeah, if you hire fucking Bob Proctor or whatever, he's gonna do good work for you. You get what I'm saying? So they might have had to go through that shit initially. You get what I'm saying? But that's where the laziness come in. One person was more willing to go through looking silly or go through the aspect of working a little bit harder in the beginning. That way they actually could rest later on and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So they went through those challenges and those little bit of trials in the beginning and worked a little bit harder in the beginning and became more smart minded and more business minded and wasn't lazy with their thoughts and feelings and shit like that, and wasn't lazy with their connections and their relationships and shit like that. That way, whenever they become a licensed contractor and when they actually become a fucking contractor, I just said it. When they actually become a licensed contractor and carpenter and shit like that, and actually get an LLC and create a business and shit like that, you get hired onto them. And now they get to like do one of these type of things. You get what I'm saying? Now they get to kind of sit in the truck and sip coffee all day and just wait for another phone call to come in about the next house that y'all going to build or some shit. You get what I'm saying? So you would be the one being lazy minded and not wanting to do things to completion, just doing things till they good enough type shit. And that's not just physically with the work. You get what I'm saying? You could be the most least lazy person ever when it comes to work. You could be all type of fucking work ethic when it comes to actually physically putting your hands on fucking boards and nailing, you know what I'm saying? And work all day and never take a 30-minute break and shit like that. You could be the most person like that. But what the problem is you're lazy minded mentally and emotionally and shit like that. You don't know how to direct your thought forms and feelings. You don't know how to have control of these things. Or you just be so lazy with it that whatever is presented to you, you just influenced by it and swept up by it immediately. So you don't have any strong logic or reasoning that could slice through that shit and make you go into some type of different direction with it. You get what I'm saying? So that's the problem. Y'all can be the most work ethic people in the world, but y'all still gonna get taken advantage of, and y'all still gonna get crumbs at the end of the day. So like I said, just peep game of your experiences whenever you are a person who's actually worked a job. If you're the one who has a strong work ethic, you're the one who never become the manager, never become the boss, never own your own business, never, you get what I'm saying? It's because of where we putting these energies at. You get what I'm saying? You don't believe that you could actually go out and do what this person is doing, or you don't believe in whatever alternate route that you're trying to create or that you think about and daydream about all the time. You're not actually willing to take the steps and not be lazy in the mind and shit like that to actually make it happen and actually start taking steps towards that. You would rather go and work for a corporation. That way you can be mentally and emotionally lazy, even if it do take up all your physicality and shit like that. We just need to peep game of where we directing these things, because you can be a person who's like this and you can give your life away to a corporation, or you can start actually having knowing beyond belief in whatever it is that you are trying to create at the moment, whatever you're into, whatever charismatic gift and talent, whether you want to be an artist or a musician, whatever. You get what I'm saying? You need to take that aspect of yourself from the work realm and put it into this shit that you're doing. But the main thing is, this is why y'all, the reason y'all are doing this shit is because y'all are lazy in the mind. Like I said, the issue is a lot of people I've noticed, they want somebody to tell them what to do. You get what I'm saying? When a person is like, somebody get like, they show up at work, somebody give them a list. Okay, at 6 p.m. you need to have this done. At 7 p.m. you need to have this done. At 8 p.m. you need to have this done. You get what I'm saying? So when it's being instructed upon them by an outside force, they're more willing to do it because they didn't actually have to hop in their mind and actually take control and not be lazy minded and shit like that to actually sit down and construct. Okay, by this certain time I need to have the chorus of this song done. By this certain time I need to have, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Or just constructing a way of going about things. Everything don't necessarily have to be on like a strict schedule like that, because I'm the type of person, yeah, I'm an earth sign, so typically and most likely I should probably have like all type of fucking lists hanging around my room of different scheduling options and shit like that. But I do this shit all in the mind. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't even have to write this shit out at this point in my life. You get what I'm saying? So that's what y'all are dealing with. Y'all are dealing with being lazy minded. That's why you can't figure out why whenever you go to work, you're always so willing to do this and that and this and that and work your ass off for that little bit of paycheck. You get what I'm saying? But when you get home, you can't figure out why you can't ever act on your creative attributes. You can't ever figure out a way to go about it. You can't ever figure out how to do the shit. You get what I'm saying? Or you're too lazy to look up a tutorial on YouTube of how to do whatever it is that you're trying to do at the moment. You get what I'm saying? So that's what y'all need to take into consideration. Y'all have been trained to be lazy minded through your life experiences based on the shit that you've went through and based on dealing with certain individuals. When somebody is constantly outside of you, and this is the challenge of being like a kid and shit like that and growing up in this world, because you'll be trained to be a certain way like this, because most parents, they're just going to direct you. Like most parents are going to have trying to have control of you and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? That's how majority of parents are. Like it's very hard for you to actually find a parent who is like, you need to be you. You get what I'm saying? You need to come up with your own way of going about these things. Like, yeah, you can come and check in with me. That way, you know that you're not making a mistake and shit like that. But even yet still, that's another formulation of training you to be lazy minded, because you're being programmed to always look for some type of outside force when it comes to how do I do this or how do I do that? Or anytime you run into an issue or a problem, it's like, fuck, I need to call my mom, or fuck, I need to call this person, or fuck, you know what I'm saying? What's up, Grace Anna? Who are hey? I don't know what you're saying, my dog. But yeah, everything in your life is basically training you to be lazy minded and look into some outside force. So if you're not strong as an individual whenever you're young and shit like that, you will forever be locked into this type of mentality. You get what I'm saying? And you're gonna exhibit characteristics and traits of needing a mental crutch, or always needing to have somebody there to be your support system and shit like that. based upon your upbringing and things like that. So that's what we need to take into consideration. That's why a lot of times when y'all go into these jobs and shit like that, you be more willing to work your ass off for the job rather than going home and work your ass off on your fucking music or or what or whatever. Who are you, dude? Are you a man? I mean, I see that I'm a little bit baby face, but my nigga, damn, I'm obviously a fucking man. What's that hat? I like it. One of my favorite hats. I don't even typically wear hats to keep it 100 with you, but VI Izzle had the sauce. Shout out to VI Izzle. If you wanna cop some if you want to cop some hats, tap in with VI Izzle on IG. He's got the fucking swag for you. You know what I'm saying? Dope shit. Fucking here we go. Charms on the charms on the hat and shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So yeah, let's get into the aspect of how you can utilize these energies in an advantageous way. You get what I'm saying? So like I said, when you're in a workplace and things like that, and you're operating within this system and shit like that, so you like I said, peep game from your experiences. The people who are lazy fucks who don't ever do anything and they stand around on their phone all night and shit like that, those be the people who get treated way better than the person who worked their ass off in the job. What's up, Star Ivy? Thanks for popping up. But yeah, they get treated way better than the person who will actually work their ass off in the job. Like the person who worked their ass off in the job get taken advantage of. They start out with a certain number of responsibilities, but as time goes on, you start having to pick up other people's responsibilities, and people start putting more workload onto your plate. But at the same time, they're not really willing to raise your salary or give you a pay raise and shit like that. So being the person who is doing shit to completion in that aspect is just foolish, because this is the thing. This is what I've noticed about jobs. You can go and clock into an 8-hour shift and not do a goddamn thing. Okay. I mean, and most of y'all who have worked typical jobs, especially jobs in like food service industry and shit like that, where you're working with a bunch of younger kids and shit like that, like it's damn near impossible for you to get fired because most people who are working these jobs are young high school kids and shit like that. So they're going to give these people a lot more leeway, and they're basically not going to give a fuck about it as much whenever they just standing around on their phone or they being extra lazy throughout the day and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, they're gonna start putting all type of more responsibilities on you if you the only one in the environment who's showing like, oh, this is the only person who's willing to do this shit. And plus, people will do little subtle tricks with you and shit too, and be like, oh, like I don't feel good today. Like, can you handle this part of my job responsibility for me? Can you help me out with this? Da 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 da. And the moment you help these motherfuckers out one time, now you start noticing every day, every fucking night shift, every fucking evening that you come into work, this motherfucker is always asking you to handle their responsibilities and stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like they always expecting you to come and help them out and shit like that, or just expecting you to do it now. You get what I'm saying? Or that like you'll have certain situations where a motherfucker who don't do shit at work will even go and tell a manager like, oh, like these responsibilities a little too much for me, but old Schwetzel over here, like he's willing to pick up more responsibilities in this situation and da 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 da. So you just thinking like you going to work in a job and you being good because you being a good person and shit like that just because you having a strong work ethic, especially down here in the South. Like people place like work ethic above a lot of shit down here. So you will be respected in certain aspects, but you need to understand you're going to get fully taken advantage of. So this is how you can utilize these aspects for a more positive return. You get what I'm saying? That way you telling people like, I ain't fucking like what? I'm not doing that. That's not my job. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, and be careful though, because y'all like if you're depending on a job or something, like be careful how you're interacting with this shit. Because you might even get your ass fired on some shit. Like, for example, like 2 years ago, I was working at a Subway down here where I live and shit like that. One of the managers, she called me and she was like, hey, da 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 da. I need you to come. I need you to come and train this new person, right? And at first I'm like, okay, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Because back then I was still like missing this concept a little bit. You get what I'm saying? So back then I was like, yeah, whatever. I can do that for you, Dreamer. You know, you get what I'm saying? I can do that for you. And yeah, I did just use her real name, but quite honestly, I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. So yeah, I can do that for you. Whatever. It is what it is. Blah blah blah. And then I got to thinking about it. I was like, hold on a minute. Number one, I've only been working here for a couple months. I'm not even fully trained. Like, there's still stuff that you bitch at me about for not doing the right way and shit, or doing it the Subway way and the golden standard and all this bullshit. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I got to thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not even trained all the way. And also beyond that, I'm not a fucking manager. And the paperwork that I signed whenever I first got this job ain't say nothing about me training people being one of my responsibilities. That's the responsibility of a damn shift lead or a manager or something like that. After I got to thinking about it, I called her ass back and I was like, hey, I'll let you know something. What I can do is I can come in and I can cover for Miranda, or whatever the fuck her name was. I think it was Miranda. I can come in and I can cover for Miranda's spot while she trained this new person. You get what I'm saying? Because Miranda, or whatever the fuck her name was, she was a shift lead. So she got paid more than me. She had more responsibilities than me. That should have been the bitch who you asking to train motherfuckers in the first place. Or you as a manager need to come into work and train these motherfuckers. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I called her back and I was like, look, you got two options. I'll come in and I'll cover for Miranda while she trained this motherfucker, or you can give me a pay raise. Other than that, I ain't training nobody. It's not my responsibility to train nobody. I haven't been fully trained myself yet. I'm not training nobody unless you paying me more, or unless I'm not doing the training at all and I'm just covering for somebody else's spot. You get what I'm saying? Tell me why this bitch fired me for that shit. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. Y'all got to be a little bit careful whenever you acting in these energies, and whenever you testing certain things out. If you're heavily dependent upon a job and shit like that, just be careful. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, but it can come in useful, because the lazy people, like I said, they get to basically do whatever they want. So you might not ever become a manager because you're just being too lazy and shit like that. You might not ever become a manager, but you can basically go into an 8-hour shift and sit there in the back on your phone the whole night and never get fired for the shit, and never help out any of your coworkers, and just let them motherfuckers struggle all night. Cause trust me, I've been the fucking one struggling while y'all bitch ass motherfuckers been sitting in the back on y'all goddamn phone. Trust me, I know. So yeah, you can be a person who just come and clock in and clock out and not do much of nothing. You get what I'm saying? So that's what y'all need to pay attention to with this shit. Don't get caught up in thinking you need to work your ass off to maintain a job and shit like that. And even if you do get fired, man, there's so many employment opportunities out here, bro. It's not like you could go, like, everywhere is fucking hiring, bro. Like, if you're that worried about a job, you shouldn't even be, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't even fucking be around in the first place. On God. But you know what I'm saying? There's so many opportunities out here as far as employment and occupations and shit like that. So don't get all nervous whenever you're dealing with a job and shit like that, like thinking any one wrong move you make or shit like that, you're gonna get fired. I can promise you now, as long as you show up, and nobody's gonna give a fuck. The only way that you're gonna get fired from a job is unless you're doing some fucking like fighting your coworker, or goddamn bringing in drugs or some shit, or fucking not showing up. You know what I'm saying? Or yelling at customers. That's about the only thing that you're going to get fired for. You know what I'm saying? And the drug thing is a little bit iffy, because certain areas you in, even the fucking manager and shit be smoking dope and fucking snorting blow and all that type of shit. You get what I'm saying? So it just depends on where you at. You get what I'm saying? But so don't stress that too much. Utilize this shit advantageously. You need to flip what you're putting importance upon, what needs to actually have you expressing that work ethic character that you already know how to express this character. Why are you using it in a realm of reality or in an area that's not beneficial to you? You get what I'm saying? You already know how to act out that character. What is the point of you sitting back and utilizing it in areas where you know it ain't gonna do shit for you? And another thing too, don't get remixed by these certain fucking restaurants and shit like that either, thinking that you can go in there and work your ass off for a certain amount of years, because certain places will even tell you like, oh yeah, we got our corporate ladder is so open. We only like to hire from within. We only like to give people raises and give them promotions from within, and make people who have been here for years a part of our corporate team and shit like that. Meanwhile, that be the time that you go in there and you find a motherfucker who's 57 years old, who been working there since they was fucking 18 years old, and they ain't never got no fucking promotion, barely got a fucking raise in that time. Only reason they got a raise is because the government keep raising them fucking minimum wage. That way they can account for inflation and shit like that, of how they want to raise prices and stuff. So that they'll tell you that you can get all these opportunities. We'll pay for your college. We'll fucking do this and that. And here's the thing, in 10 or 15 years, if you work hard, you can even be a franchise owner. You get what I'm saying? Like, they'll even come and advertise this shit and be like, you can own your own Subway, or you can fucking own your own McDonald's franchise and shit. Don't get remixed by that shit thinking that you can go and work your ass off and make some type of living off this shit. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are certain select individuals who have done things like this. You get what I'm saying? But these companies be bullshit with this shit. If you're a person who does not have the experience for the name and title that they are offering at the moment, that's what y'all need to take into consideration. These concepts come from somewhere. They were created by someone. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, it's being utilized to do things. You will notice names and titles are directly correlated to experience when it comes to some formulation of a career path, is directly correlated to experience. So this is the thing. You can go to college and actually have the name and title for whatever occupation that they're trying to give you at the moment, but you don't have the 3 to 5 years experience. You haven't been there doing that shit. That's the moment that you got to go and get a fucking internship and work for somebody for free. Not even taking crumbs, for free. You get what I'm saying? So don't get remixed into thinking that work ethic character, that strong working character that you have, is actually going to be beneficial for you in these realms. These motherfuckers be capped. So whenever they say they be hiring from within, they like to have a strong corporate ladder and all this shit. Bitch, my grandmother worked at Lowe's until the day she retired. She worked in the garden center every day of her motherfucking life, y'all bitch ass liars. So fuck Lowe's, number one. You get what I'm saying? But beyond that, this is every corporation in general. They be saying all these things, but the moment that somebody like, they can even be considering you for the job title. They could even come and have an interview with you and pull you to the side and be like, we're going to interview you for this corporate job, or we're going to interview you for this specific position and shit like that. But the moment that you actually go behind closed doors with them and complete that, they will disregard it the moment an application comes in that says that this person actually has experience being a manager, or this person actually has experience working in a corporate office, or has experience doing this or that, whatever it is that you into at the moment. So that's what we need to take into consideration. That way we can actually redirect this character and utilize it in an aspect that is going to be beneficial towards us. That way we can go home and we can work on our business, and we can have that strong work ethic and discipline towards whatever it is that we doing at the moment, or whatever we're trying to build: art, music, business, fucking whatever it is that you into, whatever you want to be known for, whatever you want to make money off of, whatever it is. You get what I'm saying? Put your work ethic energy into that, redirect it into that area of life. You get what I'm saying? And then that way, if you are a person who has to balance it with working a job, whenever you go to your job, you're not as much worried about it, because you know how much you've been busting your ass when you're at home working on your things. You get what I'm saying? So if you're a person who has this flipped, but you're still into creative attributes and shit like that, when you go to a job, you're going to be stressing the whole time, because you're like, fuck, man, I just wish that I could be at home. Like, I just want to be at home doing music right now, or I just want to be at home doing this, or working on whatever it is that I'm trying to work on at the moment. You get what I'm saying? The reason for that is because you don't have it balanced out in the right aspect. You're putting too much time into your work and shit like that. and you're not doing enough, and you know that you're not doing enough deep down. That's where the root cause of this issue come from. And that's why you be so stressed and so like angry and shit whenever you are at work, because you're utilizing your work ethic to bust your ass for that whole 12-hour shift, or bust your ass for that whole 8-hour shift. But when you get home, you don't have no energy to do what you want to do, or you just don't have the discipline to make yourself do it, even though you're tired and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So when you go home, you more operating on the laziness energy. That's why your fucking art and shit like that, whatever you're expressing, it don't retain anything. It don't have any value. It don't strike anybody in a aspect that's like they can feel it. You get what I'm saying? Shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So that's what we need to pay attention to. Your aspect is flipped and it's just a little bit out of balance. That's why you being so stressed when you're at work and shit. You get what I'm saying? And you just like, man, like, fuck, like, why do I gotta be here? I just want to be at home making music. You're not doing enough. You know that you're not doing enough. You get what I'm saying? You know you're not doing enough when you at home. You're doing more for them than you're doing for yourself. And that's where it's out of balance at. And that's where you got it fucked up at. You get what I'm saying? So utilize these things in the right type of aspect. Direct your work ethic energy towards your creative attributes, and utilize that laziness energy, or that just doing it till it's like good enough, like, oh, it's good enough, fuck it, well let it be, it's good enough now. So utilize that at work, and utilize your work ethic when you're at home. You get what I'm saying? Because that's how they trick y'all anyways, with the terminology and stuff. They call a job work and say, whenever you are a person with strong discipline and you take action on things, and you will do shit to completion, and or perfection in the aspect that we talking about, it's called work ethic. You get what I'm saying? So automatically in your mind, the string is tied to, okay, this needs to be acted out through an occupation. This needs to be acted out through a workplace environment. You get what I'm saying? It needs to be acted out in a workplace environment, when really it's just about the sixth house space, the workhouse space in general. You get what I'm saying? It's just about the sixth house space and tying it to that. That way you actually, and this is where having balance throughout all of your houses come in handy, because you're going to have the clarity to see when you're actually interacting with the sixth house environment. You will actually see what is actually valuable, or what is valuable for you to put work in, what is actually a moral, or I don't like using the word righteous, but moral or righteous way for you to express that work and shit like that, and what should be considered work to you, and not in the aspect of like work how they put it. Because when a lot of people be thinking about work and shit like that, even if it's something outside of an occupation and a job, a lot of people will get discouraged in their mind and in their emotions and shit like that, just because of what work is familiar to. You get what I'm saying? Like, what work remind me of, like, fuck, work, that basically mean, damn, dude, that the image that I just got in my mind is crazy. So basically work ties back to like a humans being slaves type of situation. You get what I'm saying? Work tie back to like basically human slavery situation. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, when you think of work, you like, what you think of is like, damn, I'm gonna have to be outside in the hot sun all day, burning my ass off. Like, that's the first thing that came to mind. So that kind of lets you know what type of space these people were in whenever they was creating this shit in general. Why the first thing that come to my mind is me being out in the hot sun and literally having a vision of my fucking back being all fucking red and sweaty and shit from getting burnt up by the sun all day and shit. Like, you get what I'm saying? Why is that the first thing that come to my mind when I think about work? You get what I'm saying? That's not right. And that's because I hopped in the mind state of how other people view work and shit. You get what I'm saying? So this is where y'all need to this is where y'all need to kind of flip the worldview of how you're viewing work in the first place. Because that is not fucking right. Of all things in the world, for me to fucking correlate to goddamn work is me being out in a fucking field somewhere in a hot ass sun. That's fucking weird, bro. I can't even get past that. Yeah, that ain't right. So that let me know how y'all be thinking about that shit. That right there just let me know exactly how y'all be thinking about what work is. So whenever you viewing like, oh, I gotta put in work on something, like you be dreading it because that's what's on your mind. You get what I'm saying? That's what's on your mind is like, oh, fucking, oh God, this shit just remind me of slavery and shit. Like, God, yeah, that's dirty, man. Y'all ain't right for that. For real, y'all ain't right for that. But I get it though. I get it though. All this shit is created for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like even words and terminologies, it go that deep to where they got fucking to where they got clouds around fucking everything, every type of word, every type of mentality, every type of worldview. So you gotta sift through a cloud just to fucking view the world correctly. Like that's crazy to me, man. I can't believe that. Make me sad for fucking that shit make me goddamn sad for fucking humanity, bro. Y'all really thinking of work like that? Like that's what y'all think work is? That's sad, bro. So yeah, y'all just utilize this shit in the right aspect, gang. Like don't fuck around on this bullshit, man. We're like we tired of y'all viewing the world like that, man. Because like think about it, this shit is all tied back to self too. Like everything goes back to you. I've talked about this before, the you energy in general. Everything is about you. So it go back to you. So you viewing work in that aspect, go ahead and diminish your self-value about yourself or your self-confidence or your what do they call that? Self-esteem and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Like that. I like that shit just put me into a whole fucking loop of what y'all be thinking and feeling about when it comes to work and shit. This shit crazy, yo. Motherfuckers work divided in a selfish manner, like it's not deeper. Yeah, man, that's the problem with this shit. Like I said, everything has been created for y'all as far as how to think, how to feel, how to view the world, how to operate in certain environments and shit like that, all the way down to religion and everything else. So it's a weird fucking thing. Like they've constructed shit in a way that make people act out characters to where they will come together, even if they're enemies. They'll come together on a certain talking point or a certain concept to combat you because you are not falling within the paradigm or you're not falling within the indoctrination, right? So two enemies will come together to battle you or combat you, mentally sparring and shit like that on some shit that don't even matter at all. You get what I'm saying? Shit that you already know don't matter at all. You get what I'm saying? But then when it comes to shit that actually do matter and situations where we do need to come together and actually do need to work together and shit like that and go against certain individuals or not even go against anybody at all, just coming together for the sake of coming together and working together as a team and shit, y'all will completely disregard that and y'all will never be willing to work as a team in certain situations like that. You get what I'm saying? And that's how it's all by design. That's what y'all need to consider. Because this is the thing that we got to think about. Whenever we're viewing the world, whenever we're viewing the online space, whenever we're viewing people express certain opinions, why does everybody out there know that things are fucked up in these very specific aspects? And it goes so far to the point that people know that things are fucked up in these certain type of ways. And certain people will even express a know-how of how we can change certain things to make everything better. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody knows what we need to do. Everybody knows where shit is fucked up at. Everybody knows where things are wrong at. And everybody knows where to go with it. Everybody knows how to create a better world for all of us. Everybody knows how to do this. But all we do is talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You will never see a fucking group of people come together. You will never see a group of Christians come together and come and fucking run for Congress or some shit like that, and do some shit. You'll never see a group of Satanists come together and actually do some shit that matter. You know what I'm saying? They would rather just sit back and continuously regurgitate information and Bible verses. And the person who memorized the most Bible verses is the fucking hardest Christian in the game and shit. You get what I'm saying? Like that's how this shit work. That's how this shit work. They got y'all coming together on stupidity. But yet when we're separate, everybody knows what is going on, and everybody knows not to trust the government, and everybody knows that we need to do these certain things to make shit better. Yet y'all will never come together on that shit. You get what I'm saying? Y'all will never come together on that shit. Y'all would rather come together on Christianity. Y'all would rather come together on the music industry and shit like that. And who got the best album this year, and who got, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. They rather have y'all come together and create gangs like the Blood Disciples and Gangsters Disciples, or I said Blood Disciples, Black Disciples and the GD, shit like that. They would rather have y'all come together and create a gang and create some formulation of some shit like that, that where y'all just killing each other, or got you in a religion where you got other people that are against you and you are against them and shit like that. Like religion was basically the first gangs. That's what y'all need to understand. Religion was basically the first gangs. Think about back in the day in the Crusades and shit like that. Anybody that was a fucking op to Christianity is dead, dog. I'm straight up. Back in those days in the Crusades and shit like that, whenever they was running around and fucking burning up villages and coming and bringing Christianity to the new world and shit like that, that's what it was. That was the first gangs. They had everything. They had the fucking symbols that they probably even had fucking certain hand symbols that they would throw up and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? That's back in the day, though. Those were the first gangs. And then they got y'all acting out these same energies now, thinking that y'all doing something different or doing something unique and creative. That's how they do this shit. They flip everything on its head. And then they give y'all confirmations, and they'll put certain shit into the environment and shit like that to make y'all think that y'all doing the right thing. Or they'll just resist you so much to the point that that's your meaning and reasoning for thinking why you doing the right thing. AKA the police is in the neighborhood every fucking 2 days because of a shooting, or they just there all the time, like trying to build fed cases on people and shit and catch whoever bringing in the drugs and shit. Things like that. Or how y'all getting all this money. You know what I'm saying? They'll do certain shit like that. Bring resistance into your environment. That way you thinking like the only way to go about something is rebellion and shit like that. And that's the only thing that makes sense. I think humans misinterpret the concept of perfection. To me, perfection isn't someone that has no flaws. It means accepting your flaws and still putting in your best effort regardless. Something having no flaws doesn't exist. Your imperfections make you perfect. Coming from a Virgo moon. Yeah, that's facts, man. And that's exactly what I was talking about earlier in this live stream. Like when it comes to expressing things and what you express to be in a realm of perfection, the flaws and shit like that is and you accepting of that is what's gonna make it perfect. And not only that, as an individual, whenever you're viewing this shit, you are always going to find some formulation of an imperfection. You can fucking redo a song 1,000 times. And trust me, when I was in the early days of making music and shit like that, I used to do shit like this. Like I would sit there and like try to overwork a project because I was trying to attain some formulation of perfection and shit like that. And I'm talking like before I started uploading this year. I'm talking about like back in the day and shit like that. Like and these songs never got uploaded due to these reasons, because I would be trying to attain some formulation of perfection. But you can sit back and go over the song 1,000 times, re-record your voice clips and everything, and it you re-listen to it and you like, oh man, like that part still isn't perfect. You get what I'm saying? You always gonna find some type of flaw, some type of perfection, something that don't exactly sound right and shit like that. Hey, Instagram side, my live is about to end in fucking 10 seconds. So if y'all want to continue watching, hop over on the YouTube side. I ain't gonna be on here much longer, but I'm just chopping it up about what people are presenting at the moment. So yeah, y'all come hop over on the YouTube side. Schwetzel. So yeah, but yeah, just be on the lookout for that. Ain't nothing gonna be perfect, and the more that you work a project, it's just gonna become overworked at that point, and it's gonna seem like desperate or something because you're trying to reach perfection when that shit isn't even a real thing. Yeah, synchronization is real for sure, bro. You already know what type of time we on, bro. You already know what the fuck type of time we on. So yeah, we in the Virgo zone, analyzation station. Uh, this has been great for me. Personally, from the start of this. Hey Malo, what's up? I see you came over from the IG side. Uh, so yeah, so let's talk about these energies of what we experiencing at the moment. You get what I'm saying? So we in the Virgo workspace zone. We in the analyzation station and shit. Typically whenever I make these videos, I title them the communication station. I got 29 degrees Gemini rising on the cusp with Cancer, obviously. But a lot of that Gemini energy is very prevalent in that house and shit. You get what I'm saying? So personally correlated, I think that's kind of why I came up with the name communication station, because that's my first house, that's my personality. So Gemini being in that space is kind of like, that's where the communication station come from. But now we in the analyzation station due to these Virgo energies and shit like that. So now we looking back and we analyzing all the shit that we've been reacting and responding to, either that or the things that we've been viewing outwardly and shit like that, or the characters that we've been expressing here recently. So that's the shit that I've been dealing with personally. And I'm also Cap Sun Taurus Moon. So these energies kind of really jive with me and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Like the first day of Virgo season, like before that, I was kind of like in a little bit of a funk. Like some things was going on in my personal life and shit. Like I was kind of in a little bit of a funk there for a couple weeks and shit like that. And then Virgo season hit, and it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when fucking Aries season come, and it's like the first spring and shit like that, and we springing forward and all that. Like that's kind of how it felt to me. Like it's like a second spring or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Just based on having all these earth energies and shit in my main big three and stuff, air and earth energies and shit. So you know what I'm saying? That's what we dealing with at the moment. This analyzation, and we basically in the new spring, based upon these energies. Because like I said, Virgo in the sixth place workhouse, or in the sixth house workplace area and shit like that. So that's what we need to pay attention to. But you gotta six sweats go infinity. Hey man, that was a fucking hard track. I had a lot of fun making that. Shout out to this other track I'm about to drop today, actually, and also shout out Zay Quarter. He sent me a open verse last night. I fucking stayed up till like 5 a.m. working on that shit. Woke up a few hours ago, and I'm fucking right back on their ass. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, so yeah, pay attention, because the Virgo workspace workhouse is sixth house area is also you hold a lot of your emotions down here in the sixth house space. You get what I'm saying? A lot of times that's where your emotions emanate from. You get what I'm saying? And this is the thing. Earth signs don't necessarily deal with emotions a lot of times like that. So a person who actually is a Virgo, or just has a lot of earth energies in their sixth house space, could miss on these type of aspects. But what y'all need to pay attention to during this time is the newness within the sixth house space. You get what I'm saying? Or it being predicated and correlated to old, more desirable emotions that you were able to create at a certain time, but you kind of lost touch with it and lost grips with it and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I call it new spring, because it's like giving life and bringing bloom to new emotional states, or whatever seed that you planted a long time ago as having a more desirable emotional state. Now is when those flowers are actually gonna start to bloom and shit like that. So that's why I'm calling this shit new spring, the analyzation station, because we analyzing those old things. And this is just me personally. Like I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I ain't been on my astrology tip in a few weeks, maybe even more than a month. You get what I'm saying? So all I know right now is that the sun is in Virgo. I'm just speaking on my personal experiences, the energies and influences that I've been kind of dealing with and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So that's just a thing based upon my own experiences. And I can probably tell you right now, I already know how I move. I already know how I work. I guarantee you I'm gonna hop online later and I'm gonna see somebody in the soul group making that astrological related content that's gonna confirm exactly what the fuck I just said, and they gonna express it in the same type of way or slightly different type of way, but it's gonna remain the same, and I'm already gonna know that I'm on tip. That's how it always worked for me. I don't know how certain other individuals are and shit like that. So that's on y'all to figure out whatever it is that you going through at the moment, and specifically for your alignments and shit like that, and whatever influences that you up under at the moment. You get what I'm saying? I'm just speaking on experience. I'm speaking on life. You get what I'm saying? Only thing I know right now is that we got Sun in Virgo and shit. So yeah, this is just Schwetzy off the cuff, off the rip, off the dome. You know what I'm saying? It don't take much, bro. I can fucking come in this bitch and freestyle for an hour. I ain't even have a motherfucking thing wrote down. It's been an hour. I ain't have a goddamn thing wrote down. Not one, not even a fucking sentence, not even a talking point. I'm telling y'all they can't do it like me. But anyways, we out here. And let me say something too. Within that hour, I ain't stopped once. Bitch. I'm getting my shit together. Slowly but surely, I'm getting my shit together. You know what I'm saying? It don't take much, bro. If you a person who's experienced life, you already know. If you a person who's experienced life beyond reading all your little fucking esoteric and occult books and shit like that, and black magic, white magic, and all this shit, beyond reading all that shit, if you a person who's experienced life, you can do shit just like this. If you a person who know about life, you can do shit just like this. You can freestyle for a whole hour, not stop once, not even be fucking any type of nervousness, not even any type of second guessing type of energies, expressing shit in a way that make people look like, man, this motherfucker, I don't even think this motherfucker might not even know what they talking about at the moment. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, you can express shit with a surety. You know what I'm saying? A surety. So I'm just gonna chill in here and chop it up with y'all for a minute. When I was breaking down the full moon in Aquarius with Tribe, that was all freestyle. Hey, shout out to Tribal. I forget what his I don't know if he got a different name on YouTube. I feel like he might have changed his name on IG even as well, but his name used to be Tribal. I don't know if it still is or what, but shout out to Tribal, man. I ain't really had much run-ins with him. I ain't really talked to him much, but he seemed like a pretty good kid. You know what I'm saying? He seemed like a pretty good kid. I can't even hate on the kid. And yeah, shout out to Stretch too. I'll have to go check that out. I ain't seen that yet. But yeah, I'm gonna get my IG shit titled up. Go ahead and upload it, man. If y'all want to still kick it for a minute and fucking chop some shit up, y'all got any questions or anything, just drop it below. I'm gonna get this shit titled up and get it uploaded and all that good shit. In the meantime, while y'all coming up with some concepts or some questions, whatever the fuck y'all want to do. Whoa, I started putting the wrong damn title on this shit. I swear to God, I typed perfection. It put perception. Yeah. I'll send you his YouTube. He changed his handle. All right, word. That way I can at least shout him out on my channel. I'm gonna keep it real, man. And I hope don't none of y'all take this the wrong way, man. Because from the bottom of my heart, bro, I fuck with all y'all. I love all of y'all to the highest degree that I possibly can. You get what I'm saying? But I be like, I'd be so self-involved at this point, to the point where like I don't want any, like I'm trying to perfect my authentic expression and shit like that, and trying to perfect my individuality. So I'm gonna keep it real. Most content that y'all upload, I don't even be watching. Like on God, like I hope none of y'all take that the wrong way. Like genuinely from the bottom of my heart, I love y'all. I fuck with y'all. I have watched a lot of y'all shit in the past, so I know that y'all know what y'all talking about. And a lot of times I'll be popping into live streams and catching like 10, 15 minutes of some shit or something like that. But genuinely, I do not be watching y'all's content like that. And I hope don't nobody hate me for that shit. But you know what I'm saying? I fucking, that's just the way it is. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be in no foot in the mouth type of situations where I accidentally get influenced by some shit or accidentally pick up on some shit that you was talking about in your video, and then all of a sudden I got a whole video correlated to the shit that you was already trying to break down and shit like that. Unless I just feel like I can do it in a different type of way or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Stretch say he the same way. Yeah, for sure. I get it, man. Like I even, and this is once again, this is no disrespect to anybody. I love all of y'all, and fucking all of y'all make some fucking banger ass content. All of y'all know what y'all talking about, at least the people that I've been connected with in the past few years and shit like that. But personally, I don't even be watching fucking Dolo no more most of the time. Cause I don't want no foot in the mouth situations. I don't want no situations where I'm out here and somebody in my comment section saying, "Oh, you saying the same shit Dolo was saying." Because in the past, there's been situations where I've uploaded some shit, right? Sat here and made a whole video about this shit, right? And then I tune into Dolo later in the evening, and lo and behold, this motherfucker talking about the same shit that I just made a video about. You get what I'm saying? So I don't want to be on the other side of it, as far as I'm watching people's content and then I'm like stealing talking points and shit like that. Like I don't want to be in that aspect. I don't want to be viewed in that light. That's not the type of shit that I'm on. Everything that I be bringing forth is shit that I've experienced from life, bro. It's shit that I'm observing from my realm of reality, observing from the influences that we're currently going through and shit like that. Anybody who's claiming otherwise, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. And on God, it don't matter to me at all. Stress say he ain't trying to have them Dolo allegations either. On God. Oh God. And don't get it wrong, I fuck with Dolo heavy, and sometimes I still be tuning in for certain reasons and shit like that. But I don't think I've watched a person's video over 30 minutes since I was in Atlanta. The last person's video that I watched like a whole live stream was Saint Uno. Shout out to Saint Uno. Yeah, shout out to Saint Uno, because he was making a astrology video and it was kind of hitting home a little too hard and shit like that. I kind of had to stick around and and see what he was gonna say and shit like that. And I actually even came and told him. I came in and told him in person to his face. I was like, man, I really fuck with that video that you had. You know what I'm saying? That shit kind of spoke to me in a certain type of way and shit. So yeah, man, like certain situations, I still be watching people. Don't get it fucked up. And I still fuck with all of y'all. Like y'all see me in y'all's live streams and shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see me popping up on y'all's live streams and commenting and shit. So y'all know I be around. I just don't be trying to take too much outside influence anymore. Like because I kind of realized like information is like can weigh you down in certain ways. If you taking in a whole bunch of external information and shit like that, like that's a light that somebody else developed. That's some shit that they developed through their own experiences. Even if you have similar experiences that can kind of connect with, you got to understand this person is basically handing you a big ass ball of light. And if you're not capable of upholding that or holding on to it or realizing that you need to let it go or some shit like that, this shit can weigh you down and impact your personal life and shit like that beyond just having the information. You get what I'm saying? So be careful with that. If you a person who just into watching people's content all the time and shit like that, just be aware of that. Like certain people have can develop way bigger things than what you're capable of developing at the moment, or they can handle things that are way more than what you're able to handle at the moment. So you need to get yourself to a space where you can handle that, or you need to get yourself to a space where everything is coming from you. You get what I'm saying? And that's how I do it. I've done the other things too. I've gotten aspects together where I can handle more and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Now I'm at the point where I can handle anything. So I really could just sit here and fucking listen to people's content all day, but that's not the type of time that I'm on. You get what I'm saying? I would rather us not be influencing each other in that type of way. I would rather us be coming together on projects like making music or coming out with a new t-shirt or coming out with a new business plan of how we can go about a certain thing that is done in the wrong aspect or some shit like that. That's the type of time I would rather be on with y'all individuals who are in soul group and shit like that. Because everybody know about y'all. Like I'm gonna keep it real. Everybody know about y'all. Like my personal life reflect every single fucking thing that I be talking about online. Everybody know about y'all. I could go. Well, my sister ain't here right now, but I could go and record a video later this evening, and I could go in there and ask my sister, hey man, you know about the soul group and shit. You know about this certain individual. You know about this certain individual. You know about Mooney Mercury. You know about Zay Quarter and shit. And she gonna be like, yeah, I know who these people are. You be talking about them all the time and shit. So yeah, motherfuckers already know who y'all are, bro. So, you know, if anybody took this the wrong way, man, I don't think y'all would. I don't think y'all would because y'all not stupid like that. But yeah, y'all already know what's going on. So it looked like ain't nobody got no questions or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I've got some phone calls that I need to make, some shit that I need to handle that I've been kind of putting off for the last little bit. Let's go ahead and end this. Let's go ahead and end this with a song. We'll bring up the new song that I played for the intro for those of y'all who ain't heard it before we leave. Doom, ticka, doom, ticka, doom. I'm gonna have to share the entire screen. It might get laggy. I apologize if it do. So, but y'all check this song out. This is gonna be uploaded today. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Did it work? Okay, it's working. I'm gonna go back. Y'all can hear it. Y'all can hear it. Let me know if y'all can hear it. I don't give a fuck what you read. She say, leave my flex, bring it on like it's D-Day. I'ma take it slow, still like a freeway. You the ones that gotta pay, I'ma shoot the freeway. I was like, what's in the freeway? Now they wanna be made, they wanna be made. Either way it go, I still chop it up like she said. 3 days, I head to the weekdays. I can't do that lobster, off the freaks. They know me, I come out, no doubt. Feet up the street, I'm on the clouds. Feeling all over again, let me keep me down. The lights and shit push me up, I frown. Make a rain, let it all come around. Trying to make me happy that nobody hate me now. That's me, I'm looking out. Only for the ones that in my phone around town. My hometown, we make unique sound. If you didn't know, I'm just thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. I can't mess around, baby, I can't mess around. It's just going down, thinking out loud. If you didn't know, I'm just thinking out loud. Thinking out loud, thinking out loud. If you didn't know, I'm just thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. Thinking out loud, baby, did you know that I'm thinking out loud? Thinking out loud, if you didn't know, just thinking out loud. I'ma bring it down, I'ma break it down. I'ma just let you know I'm thinking out loud. I do that shit without still running up these bands without them. I got your friends like that. I'm filled with houses. Running up these bands without them. I got your friends like that. I'm filled with houses. Move by themselves, so they try to stop me. Can't step alone, gotta do it with a team. What happened when you know what they struggle to believe? Running up the cheese, bitch, I feel like big beast. No stress on my shoulders, and I never in the streets. I let go, I'm just from a 10-year-old me. Still took the phone 5, even though I push a piece. Cause if they run up, get it
popping like grease. Shorty recognize he responsible for endless slugs. Come me on that side, shorty covered up in mud. Still with his slugs, shorty flowing like some fucking blood. Did he fucking with me? No harm. That doesn't like full of pain. I'm so much out and lots of fun. Wrecking word with the homies. Such a fuck it was. Home all alone, ain't nobody ever here. Just wanna myself when I wake up in the mirror. Bitch, I'm in the boss, so you can see clear. Got my love, yes, don't pick up, I can see it. I'm the only one that beats, I'm in right here. Let's just keep it real. I'm the only one to hear. I still wanna lie while they operate up here. I still wanna lie while they operate up here. If you didn't know that I'm keeping real near. These dreams and these goals that I got out the way. Bitch, me, I'm me crack every day. Bitches are real, I'm me crack every day. Motherfuckers gotta get away. Before they get like, get cracked with a cage. You can't name, so I'm away. Locked in the safe, I never touch your man. Never touch your man unless I got to bang. Gotta pull up and bust some motherfucking brain.
So yeah, that's the new shit. We finna upload that today. But yeah, Schwetzy out of here, and I appreciate you, Stretch. Let me know everything's all good on the audio side of things and all that, and giving me some flowers and shit. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody who came in. Shout out to everybody who fucking commented. Let me know something. Let me know what's going on. We appreciate y'all. So y'all take it easy. We'll be back at some point.